Welcome to episode 84 of the Concealed what? Paco?
The Concealed Taco.
Yeah. Concealed Taco Dudes podcast featuring Paco.
We do have Paco the Taco Dude.
We do.
Which I still have stickers. If you need Paco the Taco
I
Dude
need
stickers.
some. Remember when I said
Okay.
I was going to give out some swag with the new code?
Oh, yeah.
I need to give out some stuff.
Okay.
So
I have some stuff.
Great.
I have refrigerator magnets, and I have bumper stickers and smaller stickers.
We are recording tonight on a little bit different schedule than we do sometimes. Right now, we have all given up in the interest of bringing out this high-quality podcast. We are missing the finale of The Bachelor.
What?
Tonight.
I don't even have TV service, Mark.
You don't?
No.
I can't believe it. I mean, you're supposed to know all this stuff.
My daughters, I'm sure, are painfully aware of this, but they aren't here to miss it.
Well, there are three ladies left. There's Michelle, Bree, and Rachel.
Oh, man.
Rachel is involved in a controversy because she is kind of like a white girl, but
She's kind of like a white girl.
She's kind of like a white girl.
Well,
Okay.
she's dating a black guy.
Oh.
And there's some stuff that came up from her college where they were having a dance at a plantation somewhere in the South, and there was some stuff that was arguably racist.
Oh.
So we got to figure out what happened there. Bree looks like she's doing fine, but, honestly, I think that The Bachelor is going to choose the girl with the controversy. That's what I think.
Oh, yeah?
I think it's going to be Rachel.
Okay.
I'm on the edge of my seat now.
All right, so today we have me, Taco,
Jason with Concealment Solutions.
Jason with The Bachelorette.
And this is my this is my last appearance on the podcast. They're not going to let me do the introduction anymore.
It's like when you start teaching your kids to wash dishes and they are breaking them on purpose.
Right.
You'll be like, just don't do it anymore.
Exactly.
All right. Well, today we are recording on a Monday night.
Yeah,
Right?
we our weekends ate us all alive, and it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, this
so
last weekend was just too much.
It was. Yeah.
It was way too much.
Yeah. So we are hard at work making this podcast for you guys and gals.
A couple days late, but
Yeah.
whatever. You're getting what you pay for. Let's hit some sponsors. We are in the NOE studio.
Yep.
NOEBulletMolds.com. If you haven't ordered something from him,
You should.
give him a couple weeks. Taco, fill us in on kind of what's going on with Al.
Well, one thing that's kind of interesting is that I've heard from different people that, they think that he's sold out of everything.
Yeah.
But then I just walked the inventory shelves just to see, and there are quite a few molds in stock, but I guess some of the ones that just people
The
are
popular
wanting,
ones are,
probably
for
the
sure.
9s, 45s, that kind of stuff are
For sure.
sold out. But then I also saw a bunch of unassembled molds that are in 9 and 45 and
Okay.
etc. 30
So
cows.
if you've been waiting for something, maybe it's coming soon.
So he's not taking a vacation, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
No,
he is
quite the
running
opposite.
running
Nobody in the industry has taken a vacation in a long time.
No.
Yeah, he's still doing runs of molds, and he's just trying to hit the ones that are the most in demand right now. And
Yeah.
but as soon as he makes them, they sell out.
Yep.
It's just kind of crazy that way.
Yeah. It's just like anything else in the industry. If you've ordered something, if you've ordered a gun, ammo, holsters, bullet molds, reloading presses, any of that kind of stuff, just be patient.
Yeah.
Everybody's overwhelmed right now, and it'll get to you.
Yeah, and he told me that just to mention that he's running behind on shipping
Yeah.
by, I don't know, 4 or 5 days or so.
Yeah. To be
So.
expected.
But yeah, use coupon code FLT001 and that'll save you.
And he'll bump you to the front of the line.
Yeah. That's probably why he's running late. He's doing all these weird special projects for you.
No, I actually haven't ordered anything from Al for a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Uh-huh.
Although, okay, so I got these 338 Spectre molds that I'm really excited to use. I went ahead.
You got your 338 Spectre molds, but everyone else didn't get their 9
They were in stock. Yep.
338 is 8 millimeter, right?
Nope.
What's
Well,
8 millimeter?
it's 324, 325, 326.
Close enough.
I think. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that it is.
It's too late. It's been documented.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, the NOABulletMolds.com. Use coupon code FLT001 and it'll save you a few bucks.
Yep. Black Ice Coatings at blackicecoatings.com. The finest gun finishes out there.
The most artistic gun finishes. They're
does
amazing.
some incredible work.
You don't look at him and think, wow, there's an artist.
Yeah.
I mean, but he is.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
And he's got his daughters working for him that are learning everything from him too. So it's a family business, and I don't think my business is a family business. When I'm gone, my business is gonna be gone.
Yeah.
Black Ice will still be around, I think, after Lee. So
We'll
Yeah.
find a way to keep Concealment Solutions going, though.
yeah, maybe.
We'll figure it out.
I was going to say, the listeners should send us some listener feedback because I think I want to get one of my guns dipped in the pig.
The flying pig.
The flying pig, whatever.
Yeah.
Send the pork sword back. It'll match my socks. I'm wearing.
No,
You have
he did an
flying pigs on
awesome
your
job
socks.
on that 300 blackout bolt action. That
Yeah.
that is like artwork.
It
really.
is.
And so I can't.
But it should
I
have
can't
been
ruin
flying
it with,
pigs.
It should have been flying pigs. So Lee, if you're listening to this,
I'm
no.
glad mine wasn't Cerakoted in rainbow colors. So,
But
True.
yeah, I want to know what the listeners think. Which gun should I get?
well, what options do they have?
How about
I'll
my
just-
new Carcano?
Carcano. We'll get Mark's Carcano dipped in flying pigs, the flying pig print. But no, I have some ARs that I wouldn't mind having something goofy like that, or
Yep.
my concealed carry pistol, Glock 19.
Huh. Okay.
That'd be interesting, if you're in a self-defense shooting and they confiscate your gun.
It becomes evidence.
Yeah, and it's hot pink pig print on your self-defense gun.
That would be interesting.
So, yeah, just
If the prosecuting attorney would be, this guy does not take life seriously. You'd go down because you had flying pigs on your Glock.
yeah, they're like, that guy got shot with what?
Yeah,
All the police
Taco
gathering
is-
around laughing. And,
Yeah.
Taco and his
Check this
flying
out.
pigs.
So.
Maybe it's out in front, but of the studio after the podcast, and Mark's wearing flying pig things with his Hello Kitty gun. And Jason, what are you carrying?
I just have a plain old P365.
All right, I got a backplate for that with Baby Yoda.
Nice. Nice.
Nice. All right, who's next?
Well, typically it's Utah air guns, but we're not going to talk about them this week.
Yeah,
We're just going to skip them.
Just skip them.
Just skip
All right.
them. Let's
Let's
jump
move
into
on.
listener feedback. You thought I was joking.
All right. Listener feedback. Okay, this first one is from James O.
He's tired of hearing about Utah air guns, probably. That's what the listener feedback is.
He says, on Jason's stock, try pine tar and linseed oil. Trust me, it's awesome.
Pine tar and linseed oil. Is that like something you can buy, or is that something you have to make?
I got pine trees in my
I was going to say, do I got to go scrape a bunch of pine trees? I know I can get linseed oil.
Right.
You should Google it.
That's how you make a linoleum.
Yeah.
Some treatment to linseed oil.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
true.
And then MCK writes in and he says, agreed, do not do a glossy finish on an old milsurp. For $50, my best friend sold me an M44 with a bayonet lug, ground off, and a high gloss finish. Ooh.
Wow.
Great work and color. It just doesn't look good shiny.
Yeah.
So even if you do a good job,
Well,
those-
and even if I was going to totally refinish it, it still wouldn't have had a shiny finish on it.
Okay.
But it would have looked like new wood.
Yeah, yeah. All right, this one is from Daniel, and he was talking about the last episode, and he just said to winterize your home's water system. And he says, RV antifreeze. Winterize your home's water system if you lose all heat and power. It's non-toxic, and you only have to run your water to get rid of it.
Interesting.
So...
I wonder how you enter it in.
Yeah, that's the big question is, like, how do you really, like...
Yeah, you only gave us half the answer. Come on.
Like, not complicated. How do you flood, like...
How do you
enter that
put
in?
it into the system?
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy in an RV because the inlet and the outlets are obvious.
Didn't most of the people in Texas have water? It's just it was under a boil order.
Yes.
It was that, but then a lot of the pipes froze because they didn't have any heat to keep their houses warm.
Okay, yeah. So, and that's, I think we talked about it last week, but yeah, if you turn it on so it's just a little... a drizzle, not a drip, but a drizzle, then it keeps the water flowing and it won't freeze your pipes.
Yeah. I would imagine that there are temperatures where that would still not work, but it would have to be pretty dang cold for a while.
Yeah.
And the distribution points lost power, and they couldn't provide it to make the trickle. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Another one from Spencer C. And he said, I recently followed your guys' advice and picked up an Airforce Texan PCP air rifle in .45 caliber.
Nice.
All right.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm going to get into air guns. I'm going to go...
Go big or go home.
45. Nice.
He says...
I like it.
411 grains. Dang.
Really?
Yeah, that's like 4570.
That is
subsonic.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
well,
pretty intense.
that's like an old Westlow. It was like 405 grains.
Yeah, and he says I bought a small 90 cubic inch air tank to go with it, and he attached a link. It says, have you had any luck making your carry system for these kinds of tanks? And he's talking to Jason.
Yeah, I really probably should put my air tank carriers on my website because I do have them. They're a pain in the butt to me.
Are we talking 90 or 900 cc's?
I think it's a smaller
90.
tank. I think it's 90.
That's teeny.
I don't know if it's CC or exactly how
it's CU inch.
Cubic
inches.
Okay,
yeah,
that's bigger.
That's different. Anyway, I do need to get them on there. I talked to Spencer. His email came to me. He was asking about some custom holsters he wants done also. So he's actually going to send me his air tank because the carriers I've done have been for the biggest ones that are, I don't remember what they are, 98
the ones that,
or something like that.
Yeah, and I will say, I love having that.
It's
because it stands
convenient.
up. I have those tanks in my garage.
Yeah.
And they are, 4,500 PSI?
Yep, 4,500 PSI.
You don't want those things rolling around or tipping over.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
That could be very harmful.
And so, they'll stand up or they'll lay down without rolling, without too much effort.
And so it's nice to have it standing up so that you can just fill up your tanks without holding onto the tank.
Yeah, you don't have to stabilize the tank while you're filling your gun and stuff like that. Yeah, I do need to get them on there.
As soon as you get it on your website. They're going to
retail for about $150.
Yeah.
And I feel bad about that because that's a lot for something like that. But at the same time,
it's a lot of work.
I'm really probably not making much money on them with how much time they take.
Well, I mean, look at it as a safety feature too.
Yeah.
You know, if it's not going to tip, or you're not going to tip it over and lose a valve, and things are going to go shooting around your garage.
Have a missile.
Yeah.
And they do look cool.
90 cubic inches is 1,475 cubic centimeters.
Yeah.
Oh, I was wondering.
I was going to say, when you do get that listed on your website, let me know, and then I'll do a video on them so people can see.
Okay.
So
then I'll have to make them.
Yeah, then people are going to start ordering them.
Yep.
Okay, all right, another one. This is from Morgan G, and I assume Morgan is a he, but nowadays you can't assume anything.
Captain Morgan.
He says, I saw this video about home barrel production. Very neat stuff. And he sent a link to a YouTube video where they're using ECM, electrochemical machining. Pretty cool.
To make like a gun barrel?
Yes. To make a rifled barrel for all these 3D printed guns.
Oh.
So it's a way to actually not rely on, to do it all at home. It's pretty crazy.
Wow.
So, anyways, he says, do you think this rifling method would ever be used on the commercial scale? And he says, this makes producing a progressive twist seem simpler.
Yes, good point.
So that's, yeah. I don't know. I guess when it comes down to it, it's depends on what you're making and how well it works accuracy-wise. Because, most barrels now, they're pretty dang good.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall barrels are a lot better than they were.
Yeah.
Even cheap rifles, like the economy rifles of today, outperform the thousands of dollar guns, 20 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, hammer forged versus button rifled versus
they got 5R.
individual cut.
They got all kinds of cool things. And just the machine work for the receivers and matching up the barrel, all that stuff is so good. But yeah, I don't know if they'll use this it would have to be proven because...
It's got to be able to be something that can be duplicated over and over again and in a timely way.
Yeah.
For mass production. And
it wasn't EDM wire cut, was it?
I don't know that.
Okay.
It was ECM.
ECM.
Yeah. So you guys should Google ECM barrel making. Okay. And then Dave the Satellite says, this past year as a whole this is referring to the last episode of the Texas winter apocalypse.
Okay.
He says, this past year as a whole has made me start putting away a few cans of food every trip to the store. Still need to get the rest of the family on board, but if nothing else, I'll make sure they're set up for a while.
Good on him.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That was kind of the point of that whole episode, was to get people to think more about what could happen and how to be better prepared for it. So,
Dad, why are you putting cans of beans under my bed?
Yeah, exactly.
It's actually not a bad idea.
Hey, here in Utah, that's what our beds are made of.
Cans of beans. Yeah. So that's a good idea. Always buy a few extra cans of food.
And when stuff goes on sale, stock up on it. Yeah.
Just like primers.
Yep.
When they go on sale, buy a lot. Then when there's none to be had, you have enough.
Yeah, and you can sell them for 4 times what you paid.
What? You want this pork and beans? It's going to cost you $50.
Yep.
Okay, this is so cool. I've been Googling. Electrochemical machining. Basically, they cause rust on purpose inside the rifle barrel to do it in a controlled fashion, and it corrodes the...
It corrodes the rifling into it?
Yeah, it does.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like...
Wow, how
pretty
cool
crazy.
is that?
I can't imagine that being a super fast process, though.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know how long it takes to make a normal barrel either. So
that's cool.
All right, we got another one from Scuba Guy 007.
Scuba Dave? Scuba Steve?
I don't know his first name.
I'm thinking, what's that movie? It's Scuba Steve.
Scooby-Doo?
No. It's Big Daddy with Adam Sandler when he has the kid.
Okay.
Scuba Steve.
All right, well.
Wow. You guys...
Sorry.
Yeah.
If Carl was here, he'd be right with me.
Yep.
Okay, Scuba Guy 007 says, if you can't sit in your house and survive for 10 days, this is referring to the Texas winter apocalypse, you need a better plan. That's my philosophy. It's going to suck, but I know I can survive. I have food, water, medicine, entertainment, and even a poor plan is better than no plan, but a good plan will make all the difference.
Yeah.
And I replied to him, I said, the entertainment is an important aspect that most people overlook. If you are stuck at home with your family and your kids are driving you nuts.
Yep.
And there's no electricity.
Dad, I'm bored.
Yep.
Well, you better have some kind of activity.
I have a deck of Glock playing cards in my bug-out bag.
Glock?
Yep.
Wow.
I picked them up at SHOT Show.
Awesome.
It was one of their party favors one year. I'm like, sweet. Oh, no. They're not Glock. They're from... what's the Lone Wolf? They're Lone Wolf.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
They're Lone Wolf playing cards.
Okay.
Same.
Well, and so after I responded to him, then he sent another message and he says, yes, it is very important to have not only group activities, but individual activities. I think it's important to touch on medicine as well, because if you ran out of blood pressure medicine at the start of a crisis, those first 7 to 10 days could really put you in a mess. People overlook their meds all the time. I keep 5 of each pill in my bug-out bag just in case something happens. I can't make it home for 2 or 3 days.
That's a good idea.
Yep.
See, that's a whole different aspect of things that I have to think about that I've never had to before.
Because now you got medicine.
Now I've got meds, and I have never taken prescriptions ever in my life.
Yeah.
So this is weird. So yeah, I got to think about that.
I used to, still do travel for work enough, and I've been, travel problems and weather and all that kind of stuff. You end up staying 2, 3, 4 days someplace you only planned on one.
Yeah.
You got to have it with you.
That's a good idea. Something I need to think about for sure. Well, that was good listener feedback.
All right. And now it's time for the news.
From Philadelphia, a woman, and I can't believe they said this, turned the tables on an intruder.
They rotated the tables.
They rotated the table on an intruder.
Good on her.
And shot him in Philadelphia's Kensington neighborhood. It happened just before 3 a.m. Sunday on the 3100 block of Arbor Street. Shocking. Police say the suspect entered a house where 2 women were inside just before 3 a.m. That's when police say one of the women told officers that she shot the man once in the thigh.
Ooh.
So
She's probably aiming a little more central.
yeah, maybe.
Center of mass.
Yeah.
She aimed a little low and to the left.
Yeah, I needed to go a little medial to superior. So the 32-year-old suspect was taken to Temple University Hospital, and at last check, he was listed in critical condition.
Ooh.
So what do you think they hit?
That probably had to hit the femoral artery.
Femoral artery, yeah.
Yeah, or just, the femur and just shattered it.
And sometimes there's so much blood flow in big bones, too.
Yeah.
A big fracture can be life-threatening, too.
Wow.
I wonder what she used. I bet it was a 500 mag. It was a heavy double action pull that caused her to go a little low and to the left.
A little low and left.
So the eyewitness news team was out there in the neighborhood afterwards, and one of the neighbors said, if he would have done the same thing. If he was getting into my house, I probably would have done the same thing if I had a gun.
Well, you can't do the same thing without one.
Right. I'm just going to do things a lot safer, look out for myself, make sure whoever comes, get a look at his face, see what's going on, probably scope him.
I think this guy plays too many video games.
Yeah,
I'm going to look at him while he's in my
scope
living
him.
room.
I think this guy is the first time he's thought about this.
It sounds very
like
much
it. Yeah.
like it.
If you have a gun with a scope and someone kicks down your door, you're going to pull what the gamers call a no scope.
Yeah.
It's when you just pull up the gun and shoot without looking through
You're
the scope.
not aiming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to no scope him.
So, Pennsylvania is a fairly decent state for gun laws.
Yeah.
No charges have been filed against the woman.
Good. What about the neighbor? I think charges should be filed against him.
Proactively.
He said he's going to scope him first.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know how to respond to that. At least he's got something to think about now.
And at least somebody rotated the tables on somebody this week.
Yes.
Well, there were actually several articles,
Yeah.
and I just picked one.
Nice.
You'd be surprised how many self-defense articles there are, like shootings, like home invasions and everything.
There's a whole Reddit thread on it, right?
Yep. And I'll just pass that on. If you guys want to see some of the articles that we read, go to reddit.com/r/DGU. Stands for defensive gun use, and you'll see stuff come in like daily. It's pretty crazy. So people go out from all around the internet and grab these stories and congregate them into one place.
Cool. Good deal. All right. So this episode's going to be a little bit different because it's our show and tell episode, right?
A show and tell podcast where they can't see what we're showing.
Nope.
But will be emphasis on the telling.
Emphasis on the telling.
And we'll be using lots of good descriptions, I guess.
Yes. Who would like basically, it's what we did with guns.
Yep.
And other things.
Yeah. So guns, other things, and I had some cool experiences with some of my prepping tools, I guess, or prepping, emergency preparedness type stuff.
Sure.
So maybe let's go round robin with
Okay.
things. And so it's not just one guy talking the whole time.
Okay.
Well, although I could talk and get it out of the way because it was pretty straightforward, but I actually did some stuff with guns.
let us have it.
Yeah, give it to us.
Me and my father went out and shot the suppressed 4570, and then we also took our 357 Model 94 lever guns and went out and plinked. Then we shot his Ruger Vaquero, also in 357,
Nice.
and I shot my new Kimber K6
Ooh,
in 357.
I want to shoot that sometime.
It's really nice.
The
it
trigger
is.
pull on those, I notice, is very consistent.
Yeah.
It doesn't stack.
Yeah, which is very interesting for
Yep.
revolvers.
And
Yep.
it's buttery.
Yeah.
That's
It's
because of
nice and
Grant
smooth.
Cunningham in Oregon. He's a big part of the design of that gun, and it's really sweet.
Yeah.
I like it.
And it's an attractive gun.
We should
Yeah.
see if we can get Grant on the podcast sometime.
We should.
He used to do the podcast with Doc Wesson.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
It was the Gun Nation
Right.
podcast. But I tried messaging Doc to see if he's alive. I got no response. So maybe he's dead.
Huh.
Hope not.
Yeah.
So the suppressed, my father was really surprised. He's 83 years old, but he's a really fit guy. But he's not
83-year-old shooting a 45-70.
Yep, and he was totally comfortable with it. We were shooting mostly cowboy loads, 405 grain, kind of black powder equivalents. But
Do you know how fast those are going?
I think they're around 12, 13.
1200.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that's still not bad for 405.
Yeah, I was going to say, you need to come over sometime and cast some bullets, and we can duplicate those loads, but dirt cheap.
Cool.
So I have a load with unique powder and a load with Trail Boss, and you can save a lot of money doing those.
It was fun shooting them out, 150, 200 yards, and you just hear the bang splat. It's really fun.
We should do some of those also with the subsonic,
Yeah,
and that'd be cool. Some
but
405s.
shooting suppressed made it so fun because it also reduces recoil a lot.
Yeah, it's like having a big fat muzzle brake
Right.
that takes out the concussion
Yeah.
too.
That doesn't deafen everybody standing to the side of you.
Yep.
Yeah.
I also shot some out of the various 357s. I shot some 110 grain solid copper hollow points that were absolutely smoking. It's like shooting a laser beam. What's the name of the Vels? Super Vel ammo.
Huh.
They're a storied and long history kind of pioneer in the hollow point thing and all that.
Yeah.
But I had good luck. They shot well.
That's awesome.
And that's
Cool.
it.
No, it's not.
Oh.
You got a new gun.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm disappointed that you didn't bring it.
I
You
should
didn't
have.
bring it to the show and tell episode, Mark.
my President's Day special showed up, and so I got my Carcano Model 91.
Is it oozing with cosmoline?
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
It really is.
Yeah.
Get the
This
oven
one,
cleaner out.
it came with the bayonet, which
Oh,
I think is
nice.
cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is cool.
And I think it's the only thing that looks like it's usable on the gun right now. But it really is a clunky, service-grade, fairly unattractive Italian rifle. So I'm anxious to see how it shoots eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice that you got it while it was cheap.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
For
even
less, including the transfer, way less than $300.
yeah,
Wow. Nice.
you got it on the President's Day sale.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
I've spent a fair bit of time over at Utah Air Gun the last couple of weeks.
I thought we weren't going to talk about that.
That's what we're not plugging them as a sponsor. We're just going to talk a lot about them and how cool their guns are.
Another whole episode about Utah Air Guns.
Yep.
Not entirely, but
Yeah, so
we do have a lot to talk about.
both Jason and I went separate, and I think I might have gone a couple times.
Oh, I've been in there multiple times the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I got my Dreamline tactical. Got it back from Lee with the...
Already.
He turned it around in 24 hours.
That's amazing.
Oh, dang, that's awesome.
Because I took it to him, I said, Lee, I'll take it apart. I don't... it doesn't make sense to get it all sided in and then take it apart to have you dip it and everything and then put it back together and then re-side it in. I said, but I really want to shoot it, so how long are you going to need it? Oh, bring it down next week. And I brought it down in the morning, and seriously, I think it was the next morning. It might even be in the same... No, it wasn't the same day. But he's like, your gun's done. Sorry it took me so long. and he airbrushed my logo in the end of the bottle in the same multicam black camo.
It is really
that's
neat
cool.
looking.
So it looked really cool. Anyway, I took that down Friday. Like I'd mentioned before, I think on the last episode, sighting guns in doesn't really... I don't care.
It's not your thing?
Yeah, I want it to be... If somebody hands me a gun here that's already sighted, I'd be like, thanks. So I took it down there, and it had some features on it where you can adjust the power in a couple of different places. And so went down to Justin and said, okay, show me how this thing works. Show me what I need to do. Oh, and I haven't sighted it in yet. Oh, here, let me do that real quick. Okay. So he sighted it in for me. I played with it a little bit. And then Saturday I took it out to my brother's place. He's lives in a little more open country. And he has a second story deck. And his is 2.5 acres.
A sniper hide.
And his property kind of slopes down away from the back of the house, and their property line butts up against a massive field. So unfortunately, when I got there, it was already dark, so we couldn't even see anything through the scope. But he just wanted to shoot it to see what it sounded like, what it felt like, all that. But he also let me know they had some wildfires at the beginning of last year, and they had to evacuate for almost a week, I think. It was at least several days. Well, they raised meat rabbits. And
meat rabbits?
Yeah.
How come I didn't know this?
Anyway, when they were getting ready to leave, they just opened the pen, and they had this pen that they called the Rabbitat. Right. And they let them all out.
So they have wild meat rabbits running around?
Now
domesticate, like wild,
they're feral rabbits.
Yeah, feral
Wow.
That
meat
are
rabbits.
all over the place. That I'm like, we could just sit on this deck for hours and pick off bunnies. He's like, yeah, we should do that. Because he's a major gardener. Like 2.5 acres and more than half of it is garden in the spring and the summertime. And those rabbits are going to absolutely destroy it. So we need to do some community service.
Yeah.
And go help do some eradication and harvest some bunnies.
And domestic bunnies are a lot tougher than wild bunnies.
Really?
They are.
The meat is?
Their hides are much tougher.
Oh, okay.
And the fur doesn't pull out as quickly and easily, and they're just not as fragile. They're built like little tanks.
Huh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So your technique of cleaning a rabbit in
I think it would be
2.5
harder.
seconds?
Yeah.
Okay. I still need to learn that. I've seen you do it a couple of times.
Yeah.
But,
We'll work on it.
yeah.
You might need to use a trebuchet to sling it.
Yeah. So anyway, that was at least one of the things that I did. I'm really excited about that gun, and I have an Airforce Talon P that would have been here a while ago if Texas hadn't have froze over. So I'm still waiting for that to show up, and I'm super excited about that one. But anyway, I have other things.
Yeah.
But
So I'm going to actually talk about I have tons of gun stuff I did, but talk about a non-gun thing that I did.
What?
Yes. So on Sunday, as we're rushing into my car to get ready or go to church, right?
Yeah.
Then I put my key in, click, click. And I had known that my battery was close to
It was
being
a
dead.
sign that you should have just gone back inside and gone back to bed.
You're right.
Probably. But my daughter was freaking out. We're going to be late. We're going to be late. Can you hurry? Should I have Mom take me in the van? Like, just freaking out, right?
Uh-huh.
Teenager. So, anyways, what I'm holding in my hand right now is this. It's like a little portable battery pack.
Yep.
Yeah.
and it has like I actually bought this as an emergency thing in case I needed to help jump start somebody else's car.
Right.
Because it's
and for all the listeners, it's the size of a large flask.
Well,
yeah,
it's the size of something in the neighborhood of maybe 15,000 milliamp
like
hour.
If you took 2 iPhone 11s,
Yeah.
and then stacked them on top of each other, or
Maybe 15
3.
or 20,000 milliamp hour kind of battery thing.
But anyways,
What brand is it?
I got it on Amazon. I think it's just Gulu.
It's a Gulu. Nice.
Elite Series, but it was on sale.
How much did you pay for it?
I think I paid about $40, $45, something like that.
That's what we paid for the one that we have.
It's got a flashlight, a bunch of USB connectors.
So I figured I would use this more when I'm camping and stuff if I want to charge my cell phone.
Right.
That kind of stuff. But I hurried and whipped this out. It was in the back of my car and jumped my car right away.
It comes with jumper cables.
Yeah, really short ones. So the package overall, what would you say the dimensions is? Like 2 inches thick and
Yeah, it would fit in one of the small flat rate boxes from the Postal Service.
Yeah. It's smaller than that.
Yeah.
So anyways, got to church and I figured maybe my battery would have charged in a short amount of time, but not really. So then when
4.5 yards between your house.
So then when I left, stuck my key in, click, but I whipped this out and jumped it again, and on the same charge.
Wow.
And then today I said, I need to go get my battery,
Yeah.
So I whipped it out again, jumped my car.
3 times.
Yeah, and then as I was backing up, I actually killed it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and...
Manual transmission.
Yeah, it's a manual transmission. So then I jumped it again. And so I had 4 times in one charge of this thing.
That's impressive.
It was still at like 3, I guess, bars of power.
Huh.
And so, anyways,
this thing, Gulu.
Yeah.
This thing was awesome. And
have you charged it since?
Yeah. As I was driving around today to Utah Air Guns, then I just
plug it into
it into the USB.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can charge it.
Yeah. We have one that we picked up at Costco years ago, and it won't jump it. I mean, I've jumped cars with it, I've jumped trucks with it, but I don't know if I could get much more than one hard jump out of it. But like we were talking earlier, you were jumping a 4-cylinder, which is probably
a little Forester, so it probably takes less power to jump it.
Yeah,
I think
probably
it would, but still.
That's still impressive. And so I would highly recommend these to, get one and throw it into each vehicle.
The one, I need to get one for the 4Runner, but the one we have in my wife's van, it doesn't ever have to leave because when you drain the battery on it, you just plug it into the car while you're driving around. Right. The car that had the dead battery will charge your thing back up. So why even buy a new battery? You could just infinitely...
Yeah, just keep... Nah. But when I realized that, because it's no big deal to jump it, right? And, but when I realized that if I kill it while I'm driving, like I'd never kill it when I'm driving, but I had a new fear that if I did, I'd have to hurry and grab the Gulu and hurry and jump it, in the middle of the street. So that's when I went straight to go get, because I was going to run some errands and stuff, and but I went straight to the
parts store
place. But I got four jumps out of it.
That's
pretty good. I've always wondered.
Yeah.
So,
and what's amazing is, it'll jump your car and charge your cell phone.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and you can use it as a flashlight. I would guess that flashlight on it would last forever.
Yeah.
It may.
It very well could.
Because it's just an LED, and having that much power behind it, that's a lot of hours of battery life.
It is.
So.
Cool.
So how about you go next?
How about... Let's hit 2 more sponsors real quick.
Okay.
Mark.
So I want to do a quick shout out. We need to get Mag Older Mama, her text message here. And she wanted to shout out to Kevin C. in Phoenix and Larry C. in Iowa. So we've got some stuff on the way to you guys. Your orders are already on the way. The swag is coming separately.
Oh.
So thank you guys for using Magholder Mama as the code.
All right, Mark, I got an email from somebody, and they were saying that the coupon code didn't work. You need to clarify how you spell mama.
M-A-M-A.
Yeah, so the guy, he said M-O-M-M-A.
Yeah.
And that's...
See, and I would spell M-A-M-M-A.
Ma'am?
Mama.
It's a ma'am. That meme thing.
Anyway,
yeah, M-A-M-A. Magholder, M-A-M-A. So thank you. And I think we may have been talking to the same guy because he used Get in the Van, I Have Candy as the code and mentioned that the other way didn't work.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Probably so. Cool.
Same guy.
Everything's going fine. We're going to be doing some more production stuff and getting more of the older style of mag holders brought up to the new style.
Cool.
That'll be soon, and everything's going great. Thank you.
Awesome.
Concealment
Solutions. We have 3 new gun models I added to our offerings just this morning. So for any of the holsters that you are looking for, you can now get them for a 4-inch M&P shield. So the Smith & Wesson M&P shield with a 4-inch barrel, the Glock 43X MOS, and the Glock 48 MOS. So those are all now available models to order for whatever holster your heart desires.
As well as the CZ P10.
Well, I've always had the P10.
Oh, okay.
So I've got kind of a bone to pick with Glock on the 43X MOS.
Yeah?
That rail is super proprietary.
Yeah.
Nothing fits it. Nothing fits it yet.
As far as an optic?
A light.
Does HoloSun make something? Oh.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, they have the rail, yeah.
Yeah. I haven't looked at it that close.
It is narrower than like the O-Light small, like the one.
The O-Light Mini?
Yep.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit.
Really?
So keep an eye out. I'm sure Surefire is supposed to come out, but I think it's not until May.
Well, Glock has, in the past, released their own lights. Run away.
Yeah. It'll be
run away.
It'll be incandescent or fluorescent or something.
And this was years ago, but I people would bring those to me, and I finally got to a point where I was like, no. They had buttons, like big chunky buttons on the outside of it. I'm like, I can't make a holster that isn't going to turn that on and off every time you put it in. Yeah, think about things when you buy a light.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff, especially if you're on Amazon, and so much of it is just total poorly designed garbage.
Well, and think about it when you buy a gun and you assume that the rail is going to fit something.
Yeah. Yeah. I had no idea. I hadn't looked at it that close.
But like I said, Surefire is supposed to have something coming out, but it may not be for a month or two.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got that available for you now. I think I mentioned last week or in the weeks past how I have so much on my website as far as holster models and options and things like that maybe I should scale back a little bit. I'm working on 2 new products that are going to be super exciting. One should release this week. It's a rescue knife. It's basically, I can't remember the exact model. It's a CRKT knife that has a glass breaker and a seatbelt cutter on it. And I have a sheath that mounts with double-sided tape on any flat surface in your vehicle. I keep mine right on my center console, almost right next to my right knee. In my old truck, it's sat under the steering wheel, kind of on the dash, so it pointed towards me. And so you can access it really quick and easy. You don't have to open it to get to the glass cutter or the seatbelt cutter. So it's really
glass breaker.
The glass breaker. It's not the seatbelt breaker.
Man, glass cutter, that'd be pretty sweet.
Glass cutter, yeah. Anyway, I've got the pictures, everything. I'm going to post some stuff on Instagram, and I will put it on the website this week sometime. Though that will retail for $90 for the sheath, and that includes a brand new knife.
Wow, that's cool.
That includes the knife. So it's really a cool thing. And I've had that in my vehicles for years, and it just occurred to me that I should probably offer that as a product.
Well, I was just going to ask you because Benchmade has a similar tool.
I have it.
Do you? Okay, I was wondering if you could make them either way. But if it comes with the CRKT knife, why would I just not buy that?
Well, here's the thing. I have that. The Benchmade is in my wife's van in the sheath. I don't like it.
Okay.
Is that why you gave it to your wife?
No, I think I'm gonna replace it with the CRKT one. It's way cheaper, and I think it's a way better design, honestly, because the Benchmade, the glass breaker on it, I'm sure is totally adequate.
Right.
But it's much smaller.
Oh.
And the seatbelt cutter is actually a blade that you have to unfold out of.
That would be a problem.
And it's bigger. Whereas the CRKT, you can pull it out of the sheath and hold it in your fist and break glass and cut seat belts with it without having to manipulate it.
That's
that
cool.
sounds really useful.
Yeah, and it's a good heavy stout knife when you open it and use it for whatever also. So you always have it's a little bigger knife than what you would probably carry in your pocket.
It'd be good for meat rabbits.
It would. but so
Let's go.
If most of us carry a smaller knife clipped in our pocket, and then we run into a situation where I wish I had a bigger, heavier knife for this job I'm doing. It's always in your car.
We get it. That's not a knife.
Yeah.
This is a knife.
Anyway, so that's what we're working on. But speaking of knives, I did get 2 new knives.
Swing.
Yeah. I have a customer, he used to work for CRKT, he's one of their sales guys, and we've developed a relationship where he orders holsters and asks me what knives I want, and so I order knives. He must still have a connection with CRKT because he still sends me CRKT knives. Most of the knives I get are smaller, pocket knives, and so I decided this time I want something a little beefier, and I got this all silver one. Is called the Jettison. And it's a flipper. I like flippers. You guys all know that. It's a bigger blade, heavier, kind of, nice and stout.
It feels good in the hand.
It does.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like about it is it's an all-metal grip and it has no texture on it.
I was going to
It's a
say,
little slick.
it's a little slippery.
And I was talking to Lee when I was down there picking up my Dreamline. I'm like, what can we do? He's like, well, we could sandblast it.
Yep.
Could we sandblast a pattern into it? Yep. Okay. That's what we're gonna do.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
So-
Take before and after pictures.
Yeah. I'll have to take it apart. And this one,
Just
I'll
the
have to
scales,
figure out-
basically,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So we're gonna do that. And then I got this one. This is called the Gulf. And this is the best way I can describe this. It is almost like a bushcrafting folding knife.
Yes.
It's quite
got
large.
It's got a 4-inch blade that is, I think it's nearly 2 inches wide at the widest point, and it's got the handle is over 5 inches long. So, and it's a G10 grit or scale, so it's got lots of good grip on it.
A very stout feel. And the blade design itself, it is a drop point, almost with a Bowie curve on it.
Yeah. It's a big, beefy knife, and I actually was field testing my my firebox stove the other night. I fried some potatoes in the backyard on my stove, and I actually split the wood for it with this knife.
Good.
And it got a little tough on a couple points where I pried back and forth and it split it without any issues. I think you could actually probably at least do some light batoning with this thing without messing it up. So I'm kind of excited to play with that a little bit more.
Is that where you are the head of the parade in front of the band and you twirl the thing around and throw it?
Exactly what it is. Or it's when you put your blade on top of the wood and you use another block of wood to pound it down through
got it. Understood.
to split it. When you don't have an axe or a hatchet, it's a way
Or a parade.
Yeah.
or a parade, you can baton. So yeah, I got that, and I got this cool ride-on scope that will probably end up on my Talon P whenever that arrives.
Nice. Nice. All right. My turn again?
Your turn.
Okay.
I think the rest is your turn.
Okay. Sweet. So I got a couple packages. And one of them was for Noah, my son.
Yeah.
He's my shooting buddy.
Right.
And this is from CSR Mike. And so I just wanted to, shout out to CSR Mike. Thanks for the package. I had to open it, because it's for my son. I had to getting a package from a stranger.
It wasn't booby trapped.
Yeah. So it turns out that it was a nice pair of electronic earmuffs.
Nice.
Get in the van, Noah. Get in the van.
I don't know if it's because he saw Noah without hearing protection when we were shooting some suppressed guns, or
one of your videos,
or he was using the cheaper pair of earmuffs because I wear my nice electronic ones.
The kids get the hand-me-down stuff.
Yeah.
When you can afford new stuff, you buy the new nice stuff, and they get the old stuff.
Yeah. So that was awesome. So thanks for sending that.
Very cool.
I also got a full titanium suppressor.
Wow.
Really?
I didn't bring it because,
You didn't want us to touch it.
well,
Pretty much. What
no.
caliber and what thread?
So it's a 6.5 suppressor,
So it'll fit my Carcano.
and it could. You'd have to make sure that was threaded really
Straight.
concentric, because this is a beautiful can, full titanium welded can.
Wow.
And it had the threads for the end cap and the thread adapter. That it's the same thread pattern as like the Silencer Co. stuff.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, you can use all those, thread adapters and stuff.
Are you finding that the suppressor companies are kind of working towards making it easier for their
It seems like there's
matching?
more people using that thread pattern, is the Silencer Co.
Yeah.
threading, but it's always.
Wow. Sorry.
So, anyways, I wanted to say, thanks to Jeff at PTM Suppressors for saying that. Basically, he wanted me to, test it out, see what I thought. He says, test it, give it a hard test, break it, whatever. But I'm thinking, I'm not going to break that thing. That's like
Drag it
beautiful.
behind your car on a dirt road.
Right.
Yeah, the baffle design is really cool. Like,
That big sound, by the way, was Jason's bushcrafting knife. It inspires confidence.
Yes.
yeah. So another thing I got a package from Brett, and both he and I were working on getting some 338 Spectre bullets made, or not bullets, barrels made. Mine for an AR, and he was doing a bolt action.
Uh-huh.
What was special about these barrels is we got them throated to take the NOE 315 grain 338 bullets, and those, if you powder coat them, then the nose gets a little thick, and previously I would have to size the nose, and so we just got the barrels throated for that bullet, so I can make those without nose sizing the bullets. I'm super stoked because that'll save tons of time and headaches, because I hate nose sizing bullets. So
I didn't know that was even a thing.
Yeah, and so
The things we learn on this podcast.
yeah,
Nose sizing.
yeah, throating, yeah, all that stuff. But if you want to check out his channel, it's just some BS, and BS is his initials.
His initials.
Yeah.
Right. It's not what you think, guys.
Yeah.
Come on.
So I also loaded up 350 rounds of bunny farts.
Cool.
So I cast those up, and then I loaded them up this last week, which is awesome. I swear I can never have too many of those.
Oh, for sure.
But we're getting ready to use those for a youth
shoot.
Not where you shoot the youth, but where they shoot.
Yes.
Then I also worked on a new casting bench.
Ooh.
So I got one of those big tool box thing. What do you call it? Tool carts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got one of those from Harbor Freight, and it has enough drawers to stick a lot of my NOE bullet molds.
You should have told me you were looking for one.
You had one for sale?
Buddy who owns a bike shop. They just redid their service department, and he had a whole bunch of used ones.
Does he still have used ones?
They're probably gone by now. He sold them for $50.
Ah. Well, you should have just offered.
That's Harbor Freight money there.
Yeah, man. That's next time you got to let us know. Say, hey, by the way.
I think they were Harbor Freight ones. He replaced them all with Snap-on ones.
Oh.
Whoa, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
So that's going to be cool, because the drawers are like the perfect height to fit the NOE bullet mold boxes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And
Cool.
so it really maximizes the
So you're
space.
going to clean out your reloading room with all the molds?
No, I still need space for that. I have a healthy collection.
It's not that big of a chest.
No, it's pretty big, but
You need a vault.
I need a a vault for bullet molds.
Yeah.
But yeah, the previous casting bench was made out of like a chest of drawers for my kids.
Yeah.
And the weight of the molds was breaking
the drawer bottoms.
Yeah, and it was actually breaking the runners.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so this is perfect. My wife was happy about it too because she hated that old chest of drawers.
Well, and
So-
this new one's probably on wheels, so you can move it around if you need to.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Cool.
So yeah, and I also loaded up some like 300 rounds of 223 with my buddy. I helped him load up 223, and while we were doing that, I also helped another friend assemble his AR-10 upper.
Nice.
So I've been like super busy, but the highlight of this week,
I was going to say, get to the good stuff.
I went to Utah Air Guns and spent a bunch of money. I ended up trading in my Hudson Blitz, the 30 cal full auto.
Yeah.
And I wanted something that was
given it to Mark. He
Yeah,
doesn't even have an air gun.
yeah,
Well, wait, I do have a pump.
a Daisy.
No, I've got
Benjamin?
a 20 caliber pump.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so what I traded it in for is the Airforce Talon,
Nice.
and it's bright red.
It looks really futuristic.
It does.
And cool.
It looks like a space gun.
Yep, it does.
I mean,
it does.
It's pretty awesome. But I test
This
fired
is the big brother to the one that I have on order.
Big Brother, meaning just a little bit longer barrel and
I think the tank's bigger too.
and the bigger tank. Yeah. So
the Talon P is basically, it's considered a pistol,
yeah,
even though
Yeah.
you slide that little stock on it.
yeah.
We'll call it a forearm brace.
An air gun arm brace.
Yeah.
So the reason I went with this one, I was looking at all the different ones, budget guns, but I wanted something that was a little bit more on the budget side that I could lend out, or
Yeah.
when we go do like squirrel hunts or something.
When
With
you're
the-
bushwhacking and...
Yeah, I wanted something where I don't have to let them use my FX.
Right.
Well, so the thing that's been bugging me subconsciously is I realize, how do you aim that thing?
Because there's
It doesn't
no
have a
sights
scope
on it.
yet.
Ah, that's
Yes, so it has a Weaver mount on top, Weaver
that's
rail.
actually a Weaver rail. Okay,
Yes.
that is about to. Okay, now I get it.
So then, yeah, I need to either get an adapter to turn it into a Picatinny.
It's from the future. It aims itself.
It
It just
It
aims.
knows what you're trying
That's
to
why
shoot.
that's why the stormtroopers can never hit anything because they forgot to put sights on it.
Yeah. So this is a very simple design. It's a single shot gun.
Yep.
It's unregulated, which is kind of one of the downsides. So as the tank pressure goes down, then your shots are going to drop a little bit too.
Right.
But I figured this would be a great one. That stupid simple
Yep.
to use that some Noah's buddies can use when we go.
Right.
And then if they fall on the rocks, then I don't feel quite as bad as.
You won't beat them as severely.
Yes, yes.
So, can you put a something on there where you can get fairly close over bore axis, because it looks like it's going to be a challenge.
This one is going to be a little bit taller because if you look at where your cheek sits on the tank, it's going to be a little bit
Okay.
higher.
Got
Yeah,
it.
just the nature of this design, which is, good or bad, whatever. I'm just going to sight it in at about 25 yards and then tell them if they're aiming closer, they aim a little high, and if they're aiming farther, they
Do
aim,
something different.
Yeah, even higher.
Have the spotter call them, and then
What
shots.
what optic are you gonna put on it?
I'm undecided. I think I might put on one of those Rayton 4 powers.
4 power.
Yeah, just
Like
something
I just
simple.
got from you.
Yeah, something that it has a lifetime guarantee,
Uh-huh.
and they're not going to be, the boys are not going to be dialing for
Right.
it. So something cheap, lifetime warranty, and simple duplex reticle. I think that'll be fine.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Cool.
so yeah, I'm super excited about getting this, and I have
And it is chambered in 22, right?
22. I wanted to standardize on that since
Yeah.
my other ones are 22.
Right.
But after looking at this one, I do want to get one in 30 cal, I believe,
I'm thinking the same thing.
and then do some slug casting and shoot some 30 cal slugs with it.
And that'll take a slug without any issues.
Yeah, these Air Force guns, air guns, have Lothar Walther barrels, and they handle the slugs and stuff
Good.
really well. So the other gun that I picked up,
I always think Lex Luthor when everybody.
Lothar Walther.
Yeah,
So
Lex Luthor barrels.
you mentioned it as a more of a budget gun, but you didn't tell us how much it was.
They're about 700-ish,
Okay.
and it's not super budget, I guess.
There's others that are more budget friendly.
Yeah.
About
but
3 Carcanas.
Yeah. Well, the reason I went with this one too is it's not super heavy because the boys, I don't want them to have to carry something super heavy and then complain or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No, I'm super excited to get my Talon P, which is just a smaller version. And that
Is
was
it somehow suppressed or does it?
it has some kind of suppression built into it. So there's actually no barrel in the last, I don't know how many inches of that.
Okay.
But that adapter or the little, what do you call that? Muzzle
protector,
cap.
muzzle cap,
Yeah.
something.
So you can actually get a different one with threads, and then you could put a moderator on there, which I ended up buying two moderators, one in 22 and one in 30 cal. And the reason for that is I'll put the 30 cal moderator on that Talon with the adapter, and this 22 cal one. And these are made by Donnie FL, and it's the Sumo. So they're
May I see?
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
They're a little bigger than. So when you go buy an air gun down at Utah Air Guns, they'll usually throw in a moderator for about $50 at the time of purchase, and they're a little smaller than the Sumos. They do a decent job.
Yeah,
that's what I had
certain
on my
guns are
Wildcat.
quieter anyways.
Right.
But we were doing some comparisons between this cheap one that came with I think this might be made by FX.
Yeah.
So it's the one that comes with the, for example, the crown that I picked up.
Yeah.
And I took it apart, and it's kind of funny because there are no baffles in there.
It's just a big.
It's just a big air chamber, and then the end cap has a baffle shape on it.
Yeah.
This
So
other
there's
moderator or fuel filter, like they say on Facebook, it does look like it's got baffles in there, and
Yeah, it's
really,
more
it's more of an air filter.
yeah,
If we're being honest.
Yeah, so that one looks more like a traditional suppressor with the baffles, and it's machined well. It looks good.
it does.
But I got that for my FX Crown. I picked that up. And
Wow, that thing looks expensive.
Sigh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you would think that this would weigh a lot.
But it's got
it has like a
carbon
traditional
fiber bottle on it. And
Yeah, traditional rifle stock, but
Wow.
but it's really light.
I grabbed it and about threw it to the ceiling. It's so light.
Yeah, and this one I ended up mounting my Vortex. I have a Razor HD or LHD, the lightweight hunter scope.
Mm-hmm.
It just has the 1-inch tube, and it's a 3-15, and it has capped turrets. So
I like that reticle too.
yeah, this scope with this gun, I feel, gives me exactly what I was looking for in it. And
This is a very beautiful piece of machinery here.
Yeah, they're beauties for sure.
yeah. So the FX Crown, I ended up getting a good deal. I think it was one of theirs, Justin's.
It was one of Justin's.
I think.
But it
And
still
so-
costs as much as a high school person's car.
Yeah. So
That's an accurate description.
yeah. Anyways, I'm really excited about it. I've already sighted it in, and it's ready to take some varmints.
Now you're going to have to take it all apart and send it to Lee.
This one is not going anywhere. I've sighted it in.
I was gonna say that needs flying pigs.
I think
Yep.
the Talon could use flying pigs, but not
I-
the Crown.
I have a plan for my Talon potentially. The only problem with the Talon and having a dip done on it, there's just not a whole lot of surface there for a pattern to show up on.
True.
Yeah.
But
So, anyways, that's kind of what I did with guns and air guns, but Yeah, the reason we skipped Utah air guns is because we were going to talk about them
Because we
so much.
talked about them so much.
But yeah, if you need something air gunnish, then go to utahairguns.com and use coupon code
Air Candy.
Air Candy. That'll give you
Free shipping and turret stickers.
yes.
Yep.
And besides, those guys are great guys.
They are.
Very, very helpful.
And they all know what they're talking about.
Yeah,
So-
it's nice because I go in there. I'm an air gun noob, and
Yeah,
they
we all are.
they educate me as I get to shoot their guns
Yeah.
on their range.
When I go in, they talk to me like I'm a 12-year-old. Okay, now. This is how you... Don't put your finger there. Okay.
So, anyways,
Good stuff.
I think the aesthetics look more rifle-ish than some others. Honestly, it really does look like a high quality. It looks like a firearm, but it's not.
The crown.
Yeah.
Crown.
Yeah.
So that one, it does cost quite a bit
One
normally.
thing
so.
I am noticing is there's not anywhere to mount a bipod if you wanted to.
Yeah, I think I would have to get. They make these tank mounts,
Oh, something
so you can
clamps onto
put.
the
Yeah,
tank.
it clamps on the tank, and then it adds a little pick rail on the bottom. So I could do that. Because I was also wondering if I'm gonna
Put a
put a sling on it or not. But it's also pretty lightweight, so
It is.
I could see myself just hiking with it.
Yeah.
But it is fast on target when I switch that to the 3-power. And yeah, I really like this gun.
Yeah.
Really like it.
So what kind of either slugs or pellets have you shot through it so far?
I've shot just a couple of different types of pellets. And then I bought these crazy pellets that have these red plastic tips,
Yeah.
like ballistic tip, whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
And those are pretty wicked.
They turn things inside out.
Or cut them in half.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, anyways,
Cool.
we could definitely try these on some feral
Some feral
meat rabbits.
bunnies.
Yeah. So, and make some stew. We
Yeah.
should get
It's a good idea.
have a
Yeah.
stew night and
Yeah.
I'll bring
Awesome.
over my Jackrabbit cookbook, and we can have chili, spaghetti, all kinds of cool stuff.
cool.
Okay.
I wonder if you had like a meat grinder, if you could like grind.
Make sausage.
Well, no, just
Rabbit
make some
sausage.
You'd
Make
have
some-
to add a bunch of fat to it.
bunny burger.
You could.
You could.
Wait,
Yeah.
when you're feeding baby falcons, you do that. And you put in like small bones and hair and all kinds of gross stuff. But
To give it the full, complete
Yep.
nutrients and stuff.
But yeah, it's amazing. Those meat grinders are really tough.
Huh.
Crunch, snappity snap.
But I would imagine just like with venison, when you get your venison processed, they add fat to it. Otherwise, it won't stick together.
We could
Good
just throw
point.
some bacon in,
Yeah.
grind it with some bacon,
Yeah.
and then call it bunny
Bunny bacon. burgers.
bacon burger.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds good. I'm actually getting hungry now.
The Better Business Bureau, the bunny bacon burgers.
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're just about out of time, so
We hope
we are
that-
out of time.
We hope that you guys are still sort of listening. I mean, this was really, really fun to be here in the room.
Yeah.
I hope that you guys got something out of it because, this is cool.
We had a good ramble today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once the weather gets good, I'll see if I can get outdoors and then do a video on some of these air guns
Yeah.
and kind of show
Well,
them.
it's supposed to be hitting mid-60s by the weekend.
Yeah, it's March 1st. It's the first day of fishing season
Oh,
for the year.
Think of that.
Yep. 6 months of fishing season.
All right.
We need to go out.
Yep.
We never went out with the Tenkara rods, Mark.
Right.
Instead of catching and releasing, you should catch it and bring it to me because I love fish.
I do too.
Oh.
I'm
All right.
yeah.
I have some friends who are like, oh, I'm just catch and release. I'm like, well, stop releasing.
Yeah.
Give me some fish.
I get it,
So,
but I like to eat them.
Yep.
So
all right.
cool.
Well, thanks for listening and stuff, and
Yeah.
take somebody shooting.
Be nice to people.
We'll give you the update next week on The Bachelor.
No, we won't. Got a good skiing today with my kids.
Oh, that's good.
Did you hear me sloshing through the snow when I was talking to you?
Cool.
Now I just hear the.
I had just got up a hill.